Alright, it looks like we are live. Just trying to make sure it's connected in the online studio. Okay, well, let's get flying. First of all, welcome. We're going to be doing a nice flight. Bush plane, I think, is going to be what we're doing today. So let's hop into a plane. Obviously, it's nighttime everywhere. We're not going to do a jet fighter today. We're going to slow it down a little bit. So we either have the Kit Fox STI, which does not sound like fun because that sounds painful. Let's go with the Cub Crafter X Cub. Let's see, Cub Crafter X Cub, 126 knots, max altitude 14,000. Yeah, I think we're going to do that today. Now, let's just change this to daytime because I personally don't like flying at night. For me, when you're playing Flight Simulator, there's one of two ways to do it. There's the I'm going to go out, I'm going to go in a bush plane, see cool things, have some fun. The other part of it is where you're actually going in and trying to do a realistic flight from point A to point B. I'm not doing that today. I'm going to have some fun. A really fun place to fly is in Central Oregon. Actually, correction. There's the town in Oregon called Sumner. Maybe well, let's see. What sounds like a good place to take off of? Man, I wish there was a like a roll the dice button where it just picks an area for you. For doing bush planes, definitely somewhere on the west. I don't want to go past the Rocky Mountains. Yeah, we're gonna do Central Oregon, and I think we should fly from. Let's take off from Roberts Field in Redmond, Oregon. Runway 11. Let's take off on runway 5. Set as our departure. We're not going to set an arrival. Let me turn this down a little bit. There we go. We're not going to set an arrival. We're just going to go out. We're going to have some fun. Maybe do some landing. We'll drop onto the top of some hillsides maybe, so we'll fly. And enjoying some wine today, so forgive me. I do maintain a high level of class drinking out of a mason jar. So that's good wine. Just before I take off, before it even loads, make sure that the throttle's down. Okay, here we go. So I am short. Let's put a booster seat in. Get up a little bit higher. Move our map over a little bit. Zoom out a little bit. The thing about this is if you're actually in this plane, you're going to have a pretty wide field of view. The eyes have a relatively wide field of view anyways. I'm using a 3440 by 1440 monitor. It's a 35-inch ultra wide, and so for me, when I actually zoom out, it does give me that really good wide view that I want. Yeah, to me, just zoomed in like this, your peripheral, it's non-existent. So we'll zoom out a little bit. Here's our plane. Sorry if the volume's a little high on the plane. Maybe I'll turn down the desktop audio a little bit. I don't know how loud that is. So with the plane, there we go. Looks good. Our flaps, we'll extend the flaps to 46 degrees. That's way too much. We'll take off on 33 degrees. Plane looks good. So we are currently facing northeast. Runway 5, and Let's taxi and hold your runway. Parking brake engaged. Disengage parking brake. And what is our call sign on here? Oh, I guess we don't have a call sign assigned yet, so that's totally fine. So I guess I just won't let ATC know that we're taking off. And brakes on. Throttle up. Let's pitch this down. Check everything. And contact. Let's get this back end up a little bit. Ooh, a little windy. Alright, and just not expecting that wind. Alright, rotate. And we're off. So, I don't know what settings I have the graphics set to. Flaps up. I don't know what settings I have the graphics set to, but I think I'll probably... Let's turn the graphics up a little bit. It's nice to have something a little prettier. Low end. Yes, I could definitely tell on that. I think high end is probably as good as I want to go with this computer. I'm using the... oh man, let's raise this up a little bit just so I look a little prettier. The ROG G14 is the computer I'm using. It's a laptop. It's got the Ryzen 9 4000 series. It's running a RTX 2080. I have these fans blowing on it because I'll be hitting 90 degrees Celsius sometimes. So I actually have the fans blowing at full. And then in addition to that, what I do is I have it on a 5-fan cooling pad that essentially is just always blowing this cold air onto it. So hopefully it'll, let's see, oh, it's getting warm already. Okay, why are you out of focus? Focus, you bastard. There we go. It's not like I'm not pretty enough for it to focus on me, apparently. It's looking for something else. Okay, so we're going to apply that, save, get back into our flight. We're going to pass through the town of Prineville, Oregon. Resume. There we go. There's some trees. That's what I wanted to see. VFR map, move that over to here. Okay. Currently heading about 100 knots. I'm not going to do a lot of talking. No one's watching right now, so I'm going to enjoy the flight. If somebody hops in, I'm happy to chit-chat. Until then, I'm just going to enjoy my flight. What I don't get is they have grass and flowers growing on a main highway. Jiminy cricket. Let's put those up. Once I get to another straightaway, we'll I'm going to turn on another light, get some brightness going in here, and also, since no one is on, I'm going to top off my wine. Hold on a moment, please. Is there like a be right back? Add new scene. Let's do like a BRB. BRB. Done. Okay, so we'll do BRB. That will turn off the audio and text. Add source. So if I go from that, haha, I can do 2, BRB. Alright, friends. Papa's cooking with gas now. Wine is topped off. I convinced my wife, I hope she's still watching, I convinced her to log in and watch this stream instead of watching Queen's Gambit. So now we're going to go back into our flight. Again, we are on a highway in the middle of Oregon. We're going to be taken back off, though. For some reason, the highway has a bunch of flowers and grass growing on it. I don't know what's going on with that, but we'll resume and continue. Oh, okay, the flowers are now gone. Alright. Let's, Alright, we're gonna take off now. And contact. Watch out, tree. Whew. Alright. Setting our flaps. So, yeah, we, enjoying my, knowledge frequency change.
Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra frequency change.
Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra frequency change to 126.150. Okay. Alright, so, where were we? Yeah, I was having light issues. It was too dark in here, and now I got a big bright light on in front of me, as you probably could tell. We're gonna go through the town of Prineville, Oregon. So we're headed straight east from the town of Redmond, Oregon, just going over Highway 126. Prineville, it's a cute little town. It's located in the bottom of this nice little valley type area. So as you're pulling in, you see the entire town as one view. Again, we're going 100 knots, so it'll take us a minute to get there. That's the downside to flying a slow-ass plane, but we'll get there when we get there. So we'll go past Prineville, and we're going to continue headed east through Oregon. We're going to be going through some mountainous terrain. My goal is to land on top of a hill, and then a couple of hills, and then we'll do some non-powered gliding as well. I hope that my audio isn't too overpowering. We'll find out. Surprisingly, the stream camera looks almost identical to the window I have. Usually I feel like there'd be some sort of latency and also some discrepancy in frame rates, but it looks like it's going pretty good, chugging along. Yeah, hitting 130 knots. Let's do some climbing and also turn down the. See, the one problem I have, and I really wish there's people watching that could comment back of, is the plane too loud and can you hear me? Again, my wife should be watching this right now, and if she did what she said she would agree to and watch this, she could comment, but I don't see her commenting, so I'll chat with her about that. That sounded like a threat. It wasn't a threat, I promise. We got Edwino1234 at 37,900. Actually, I'm going to try something. While I have this going, I'm going to mute my microphone. Muting. Check, check, check. turned the desktop audio way down. I didn't realize the plane was that loud. Here's the town of Prineville. We'll do a couple turns. Alright, that was my second attempt at turning the audio down. Okay, I feel like that was manageable, so I'm going to now turn this off. I was using my phone to see how the live stream sounded. Okay, so where were we? We were flying through the town of Prineville. Flying to the town of Prineville. Alright, let's get back into it. And this is probably not recommended in this plane, but real lives are not at stake. 170 knots. If you look in front of us, you can actually see the that is the Facebook data center. Huge building. The fencing alone that they had going around it was over $1,000 per lineal foot, which is an astronomical amount. I mean, imagine putting 10 $100 bills every foot on a tape measure around this entire building. It's almost a mile around it. We're going to slow it down a little bit because we are going too fast. So this is the town of Prineville. As I said, as you go down the highway into Prineville, you start getting this beautiful view of the town as you come in. We're going to do a nice little approach in. My wife's always been one to move to one of those towns, kind of like what they have in Gilmore Girls. Haven't watched it much. But I do know the town, just very picturesque, has that main street. So the town of Prineville, I hate to say this, and if anybody is watching this from Prineville in the future, please don't hold it against me. Prineville looks better in the game than it does in real life. But it still has that beautiful main street. Let's continue on through. So this road, if you continue on this road, eventually it will take you to the state of Idaho. If we kept flying for a while, we would end up there. Let's gain some altitude. Let's get around 10,000 feet, if this plane will allow that to take place. As long as I don't stall. It's heading up to 4,000 feet. Yeah, we're gonna stall here in a second. Stall at 40 or at 45. So let's level off a little bit, try and gain some speed. And then pick back up again for the remainder. Beautiful. This light I turned on in front of me, man, it's getting hot. Fortunately, it's not an LED light. LED causes that flicker. They run at what, 60 hertz, or I believe it's 60 hertz, and yeah, it really does cause some issues with the camera, especially if the camera's running at 30 frames a second or 60 frames a second. You'll definitely start seeing that flicker. Well, let's hop on up to 5,000 feet. We're at 5,000. Let's gain a little bit more altitude. Still one viewer, which is most likely me on my phone, because I was wanting to monitor to make sure everything's going smoothly. Let's take a look down here at our gauge cluster. We got mixture, Pauline. Oh no, don't do that. We want to run nice and clean on that one. All lights are on. Incorrect fuel mixture. Okay, fine. We'll go to around 70, 80%. Looking good. What we'll do is we will get up to a hilltop. We'll get on that hilltop, and then we'll coast down that hilltop and actually glide. That's something that I've been trying to practice a little bit with. It's quite a bit of fun. You got to really control how you're flying, because I mean, every foot you go forward, you're dropping. So I'll try and do that. And correct fuel mixture again, because not leaned correctly. Should I pull it lean? We'll go to 70. See how that looks. Don't want it to be too rich. I don't have the settings in here set to where I'm actually... I don't have it set to where it actually... God damn it. Okay, I can shut her up with a button. I don't have it set to where I actually lose... I go through fuel as I'm flying. That's one of the things I've actually... Dude, what do you mean incorrect? Again, should I go to 75? I have all the other settings set correctly except the fuel. For me, I don't want to really want to deal with that. I don't want to have to worry about running out of fuel. When I go on these flights, it's just fun to fly. So. So let's go over. Let's start heading a little south. I think that's it. Dude. Shift Control F3. Shift Control F2. Try that. I don't know if that helped or not. So now we're heading pretty much straight south. I'm gonna try and find a nice place to land this beautiful bush plane on. Don't know where yet. So I adjusted my, let's see, we're 69. I shouldn't have touched that button. I really shouldn't have. That's the thing is, you know, all of a sudden it's set correctly earlier, and so it was at 72. Let's put it back to 72. Well, nope, didn't want to do that. F2, that's right. Over to here, and let's get it to 70. I recall it being at 72. There we go. That was kind of a pain in the butt. How's our trim looking? Trim at 1%. Let's go down. There we go. Oh, there's no autopilot in this, so we're pretty much just flying as we go. Dude. Okay, so I should get rid of some of this stuff, because it's kind of annoying. Let's see, I'm gonna go outside. Let's see, where should we... Ooh, let's go land on that hilltop right over there. I don't know where that is or what that is, but we're going to it. Not leaned. So if we want to run lean, it says let's go to 54%. Pull on lean, and it said it's not lean correctly. I don't know if you go lean or rich, but 54% seems like it'll be okay. I wonder how I turn off those alerts. Those are kind of... Actually, let's look at that really quick. Assistance. Can we turn off the alerts? Piloting. Flying tips off. Software tips. Let's turn that off. Aircraft system off. Pilot control notifications. Let's try that really quick. Aircraft system. So, control inputs. Okay, let's try that. See if that helps. I feel like it should. There's so much to this game. It's just... It's insane. You can set so many settings up in it, and I haven't even scratched the surface. So far I've done a little bit of the training in commercial, most of the training in planes like this, a single engine prop, and a little bit of bush flights with a friend of mine. Other than that, I haven't gotten too deep into it. I don't know how to push a button communicate very well with ATC or other airplanes in the vicinity. For me, it's just I've been flying. Eventually I'll get it to where I can actually not have to worry about any of this stuff, but it is kind of annoying having those notifications on the screen. And if the plane is not mixed correctly, yes, I might be losing a little bit of power, but I don't have to worry about fuel, so I can adjust that stuff as time goes on if I have to, if it's too rich, too lean. I believe one of the other settings I don't have turned on is if, you know, I don't have any of the failures of the engine coming up. So if I change the mixture, it won't necessarily stall out on me. It'll lose power, but it won't ruin the engine. So there's no like engine degradation as time goes on or anything like that. So it looks like there's a clearing on top of this hill in front of us. I'm gonna try and go land on top of that and see. Well, see first of all, can I land on top of it, and then go from there. Refresh chat. Ooh. No. There's a button that says refresh chat, and I thought, oh man, maybe somebody commented. No, nobody commented. Nobody's watching. That's okay. Man, this light is just baking in front of me. I think it's a 400 watt light. Just... But I might be getting tan while I'm flying, so that's cool. Let's raise our seat up. We've maxed up our seat. No, we can go up a little bit higher. Now I'm a tall person. No, that's too high. Yeah, it does look like there's a clearing up there, so we'll go see if we can land on that. Set up our map a little bit more. so we can actually see some of the topography. That all looks like it's at the top of it, so that's cool. So what we'll do is we'll do a flyby and see how it looks, and then if it looks like there's a place to land, I'll set flaps. I don't have to worry about lowering gear, so I'll set flaps, drop thrust, and prepare for a landing. This plane is really good at landing on rough and uneven surfaces, so I shouldn't have to worry about that. Let's start heading down. We're going about 115 knots at 9,700 feet. My camera's starting to freak out, so I'm going to unplug it and plug it back in. See if that helped. Nope, didn't help. Turn it off. And turn it back on. There we go. Okay. Man, I should probably take this camera to Best Buy and see what they say, because probably shouldn't be doing that. So we can do a short takeoff and land. It looks like not on this patch, but a little bit further over. To our 10 o'clock. So I will do that. I'll set flaps. Flaps at 46 degrees. And we'll slow this bad boy down quite a bit. There's a lot of trees in the way, but I think I see a decent clearing. See my shadow on the ground. Our frame rate's probably getting down to about 30-ish. I can start seeing it. Okay, so that gets pretty steep over there. I think I'm gonna get over these trees really quick and see if I need to bail. Abort. Right for that tree. Sorry, dude. Perfect. Alright, so we made that one. Now, set our flaps up a little bit. Actually, no, let's set them down to 33. Everything looks good. Right, left. Okay. So we will turn off our brakes. And let's I'm almost certain I saw a clearing. Slow this bad boy down a little bit. Taxi through here. Go through these trees. Well, let's see what this clearing looks like up here. Might be able to do a this looks pretty nice. I could probably do a short takeoff on it. I think what I figured was 3 fingers out. There we go. I'm trying to find a good position for this microphone to sit. Eventually I want to get a better microphone. I think this one sounds too trebly, too much treble. It's not a condenser mic, obviously. That's a good view, man. Let's see what it looks like up here. Let's see, we'll go back to this view for right now. I think we can take off that ridge right there. Oof, that was spinny. So let's pull it forward. And then we'll do 180 degrees, and we will take off that. And then I'm going to try and glide. Slow down, bad boy. Try and glide down. I'm going to do quick takeoff and then reduce power and see if we can glide down. Set flaps at 46 for that short guy. And get back in here. Some nice. Let's get some speed. Except the problem is I don't see anywhere we can land. So we might be able to go through this valley, but what I'll do is I will increase throttle if I feel like we're getting too low, and if we have to bail, I'll do that. So right now I'm at 0 power. We're just at idle, running at 69 knots. Flaps are fully engaged. And let's see. We're gonna keep going forward. Let's see if we can hit that V right in that gully right up there. Don't think this is a good spot for this, but we'll find out. Yeah, I'm at 0 power. The props are spinning again, but that's just because the engine is running. We are at idle. We're almost at stall speed. I don't want to be at stall. Okay, bail. See where we would have ended. Yeah, we would not have ended up anywhere good. So I'm glad I called that. Put flaps up. There is a plane up ahead at 4,100 feet. I don't know where they're at, but they must be way out there. Where are you guys? Alright, well, let's continue on. So throttle's up, flaps are down. Yeah, we dropped off that up there to our 1:30, 2 o'clock. There is a spot out here I'm actually personally aware of. It's called, let's see, get over here. It is Pine Mountain Observatory. I believe it is. Not that. We're heading that direction. Yeah, Pine Mountain's gonna be out here. So let's head over to Pine Mountain Observatory. See if we can land on top. I know that that is a great area. It's steep. It's tall. They actually have the University Oregon State University. I didn't go to college, so I'm not aware of the difference between University of Oregon and Oregon State University, but they have a observatory ran by Oregon State University, which I think is the Beavers. They're orange and black. Nice telescopes up there. You can go up there in the summertime and do stargazing, astrophotography, amateur astronomy, not astrology. Um, I know that when you go up there, you cannot have any sort of flashlights out after a certain time. They ask that you put a red filter over your lights to prevent light pollution on their telescopes. But it's a beautiful area, so we're going to head down to Highway 20. Right now I'm doing essentially visual on all this, so I feel like I'm heading in the right direction. Let's flaps are up. What's my pitch? Pitch is at 0. Let's crank that soldier boy, and can't believe I just said that. And we'll fly like this for a few minutes. No one's watching, so that's okay. Okay, I know where we're headed. So Horseshoe Ranch is up ahead. I can see the hill. So Horseshoe Ranch, if you can see my cursor on the screen, is right over there. So if we're going to Pine Mountain, it's going to be somewhere behind these hills. Yeah, we're trucking along. I mean, that's all I could ask. How's my computer doing? Is it getting warm? Oh yeah, that's hot. That's hot. But it's running fine, so we're good. To your right, over in this area, if you can see my cursor again, that is Prineville Reservoir. Man-made lake reservoir, obviously. The water there in the summertime has got to be 65, 70 degrees. It's nice, but also when the water in a reservoir is that hot, it kind of makes you think what's growing in it. Gets pretty gross. But jet skiing, boats, all that, wave runners are really good out there. A friend of mine, him and I actually have been out there, and we were wave runners on his wave runners. Collided. He had oil on his hands from mixing his gasoline, and didn't realize, at that point he felt like it wasn't a big deal. But we were crossing close enough to each other. His hand slipped, and then he headed straight for me. At that point, I saw he was headed straight for me. I bailed at like 30 miles an hour. He bailed at 30 miles an hour, and both of our GoPros actually captured the collision, and man, it was it was fun. So I'm gonna put this on a quick BRB. 1 second. Alright, so I've officially shared this with a couple of friends of mine, and the cool thing is I can see if any of them are going to be watching it or not. So I'll be able to determine the level of asshole they are if they click the link or not. So currently we are headed south over... Let's see, we don't want to go down that far, so... Newberry. Yeah, we're heading the right direction. Some guy in CO, so some guy in Colorado. Here's what we're gonna do. We are going to hop out, go to main menu, continue. I'm gonna choose a different location because I don't want to spend 45 minutes flying from where I was to where I want to go. That's way too long, and with the magic of technology, we can go directly there. So we're still in the same... okay, we're going to switch planes too. We're going to do a Airbus A320. And we're going to take off at Roberts Field, says departure. Our arrival, I'm not going to set an arrival, so we'll just keep flying. So this plane at Roberts Field, I have plenty of runway. They took off of there all the time. 747, definitely not a good idea. You'll crash. This plane, I think, will be a fun one to do. It says I have 2 viewers. I'm sure one of those are my wife. Whoever it is, just comment. Say who you are. I know there's somebody else in here. And if you're not my wife, if you're someone I don't know, please say hi. I'm watching. Go over to here, refresh chat. Yeah, still nothing. Okay. Alright, well. Alright, so we're going to take off in the A320. Put my booster seat in. Just get us up a little bit higher. We're headed due south, so I'm going to set this over here. Well, I'll set this over here. That's fine. It's not covering anything. Check everything. So we got flaps going good and going good. Rudders nice. Parking brake off. Brakes on. And building pressure and contact. Alright, so rotate at... Alright, taking off at Roberts Field. Let's change our view just a little bit to the right. Right there. There we go. Feels much better. Alright, we're at 100. 120 we'll do a rotate. And rotate. Alright, and we're airborne. Flaps coming in. Flaps coming in even further. Gear up. Gear up. Gear was already up. Let's booster seat a little bit more. Just because I'm short. I'm used to that view. Alright. So I have full control and... Alright. So let's take a outside view, see how we're doing. We're doing a good climb. Airbus 320, acknowledge frequency change.
Redwood Tower, Airbus Alpha Sierra X-ray 320, frequency change.
Alpha Sierra X-ray 320, frequency change to 126150. Oh, somebody logged out. Ah, what happened? And back on. There we go. Alright, we're going to close this bad boy out. We are climbing. We'll hit about 15,000, and then we will start headed southeast. Oh, what happened again? Put this on video. What is happening? Can't be my battery because I know that my battery is just fine in it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to pause the game and we're going to check the battery in the camera and see how that's going. Ah, okay, it is a battery. So, as of now, we are going to be flying. Man. As of now, we're going to be flying without a webcam, which is fine because I'm not pretty enough to do that. Charge this bad boy up. And let's get back into it. Let's turn off the webcam. Turn that off. And let's increase this bad boy a little bit. There we go. Okay, so we're going to continue on. Resume. So at this point, there's no camera, and that's okay. We're going to fly pretty much visual all the way through. We're currently at 170 knots, 165 knots, right at 10,000. Dropping our trim down, didn't realize it was 100%. So take that down so we can see a little bit better too. Also, it's unnecessary. Turn off, let's see. Turn off flight director and auto throttle. There we go. Now we are in full control. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to land on a highway, gear down, flaps up, throttle down, gear down. This is not advisable. Speed brakes on. 200, so let's get some throttle. Okay, that was dangerous. All right. All right, well, we're at an hour. Let's call it. Um, thank you. Let's see who was on the whole time. Thanks, Brant McDuffie, for joining the live stream. I really appreciate it. It was nice to have you on.